Hello, how are you all? Hope you all are doing well, and welcome to our channel, Sai Explains. Have you ever noticed something so ordinary that you've completely stopped questioning it? Every airplane window you have ever looked through has something in common. They're all rounded, not square, not rectangular, just rounded. At first, it doesn't seem important. In fact, a square window would probably give you a slightly bigger view of the clouds. So, why did engineers choose a smaller-looking shape? The answer begins with one invisible force that every airplane battles during every single flight: pressure. Imagine you're holding an empty plastic bottle. Now squeeze it. It bends easily. But fill it with air and increase the pressure inside. Suddenly, it becomes much harder to crush. An airplane experiences something similar. At cruising altitude, nearly 11 kilometers above the Earth, the outside air is so thin that breathing without oxygen would be impossible. Passengers, however, are sitting comfortably, reading books, watching movies, and sipping coffee. That's because the cabin is pressurized. Every second of the flight, the air inside is pushing outward on the aircraft. The roof, the floor, the doors, and yes, even the windows. Now imagine stretching a piece of fabric. If you cut a smooth circular hole into it, the pulling force spreads around the edge. But if you cut a square hole with sharp corners, something interesting happens. Those corners become tiny magnets for stress. Instead of sharing the load evenly, the force piles into the corners. Engineers call these locations stress concentration points. They're small, invisible, but over time they can become dangerous. This wasn't always understood. In the early days of jet aviation, engineers were chasing speed, comfort, and modern design. One aircraft became a symbol of that new era: the de Havilland Comet. It looked futuristic. It flew higher and faster than many airplanes before it, and it had large, square windows. Everything seemed perfect until airplanes began breaking apart in midair. There was no explosion, no collision, no obvious warning. Investigators were left with a mystery. What could tear apart one of the most advanced aircraft of its time? Months of investigation followed. Engineers even placed an entire aircraft inside a giant water tank and repeatedly pressurized it to recreate years of flights. Then, finally, tiny cracks appeared, exactly where nobody expected. The corners of the windows. Every flight followed the same cycle: pressurize, depressurize, again and again. Thousands of times. Those microscopic cracks slowly grew until the metal could no longer carry the load. The failure wasn't caused by one dramatic moment. It was caused by millions of ordinary moments. The solution was surprisingly simple: remove the corners. Round every edge. Without sharp corners, stress flows around the window instead of crashing into a single point. Think of a crowd leaving a stadium. A wide, curved exit lets people spread out naturally. A narrow corner creates a traffic jam. Stress behaves in much the same way. Rounded windows give that stress room to spread. And when stress spreads, cracks struggle to begin. Today, every time you fly, you're looking through a design shaped by one of aviation's most important engineering lessons. That small, rounded window isn't there because it looks elegant. It isn't there because passengers prefer it. It's there because countless hours of engineering, investigation, and hard-earned experience prove that a simple curve can make an aircraft far safer. Sometimes the smallest details carry the biggest responsibility. So the next time you're sitting beside an airplane window looking at the clouds, remember this: that quiet little curve beside your shoulder has a story. A story written not with ink, but with physics. And for now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment what you think.